DMZ fans are eating good as we have a 5th new DMZ map that has just been revealed coming to the game next week with Season 4. Welcome to your first look at the new DMZ map, Vondel. This is going to be a brand new exclusion zone, and size-wise, this is comparable to a size of map between Al Mazrah and Ashika Island, welcoming up to 18 operators for DMZ and 72 operators for Resurgence game modes. This new map has been developed by Beanox Studios, and Vondel will feature 15 distinct points of interest, including a medieval castle that dates back to the Saxon times, an abandoned zoo, a Greek revival-style city hall, and soccer stadium currently set up for an epic paintball tournament final. There's also densely packed townhouses, small alleyway cafes, and a variety of other locales to explore and take tactical advantage of. Now, in this new promotional art for Season 4, you can see in the background section of the Vondel map, which looks very familiar to this section of the campaign, which also takes place in the same location as the new Vondel map in the Netherlands. Now, obviously, expect this to be much bigger than what you've seen in the campaign, but an intricate detail in the campaign that will make its way into Vondel is that there is a focus around its intricate canal system as different access points. And in addition to several different road types and bridges, operators can dive and drive into the water surrounding Vondel's islands and city streets, or use watercraft and a new amphibious vehicle to get around the tight cityscape. Now, not only is DMZ getting this new map, but there is some very exciting major updates coming, including a new central hub for DMZ. If you weren't already aware, Season 4 is going to completely wipe everything from mission progress to contraband to keys and insured weapon slots, and this is all because a new centralized hub for all communication and operator upgrades is going to be coming, called the Forward Operating System. This new menu system allows you to complete objectives to earn a variety of upgrades to use across DMZ. Now, these upgrades are broken down into 4 different categories. You have Stash, which is for your wallet and key stash, where you can increase the size of it, thank God. A Weapons Locker, where you can have insured and contraband armaments and upgrades. A Bounty Board for exfil, bartering recipes, and buy station discounts. And a Communication Station, allowing urgent mission access. I was mentioned that all operator upgrades within the FOB are passive, don't need to be equipped, and allow for efficient progress across all aspects of DMZ. But on top of there being brand new missions, there is now a new section called Urgent Missions, which are a new type of faction requested tasks. Now, these are going to be quicker to complete and provide an excellent way to earn faction reputation, which is a brand new feature that was rumored a long time ago. And we'll dive into the specifics of that in just a moment, but by completing these urgent missions, you unlock more story missions and give faction missions even more agency. But specifically, urgent mission completion grants a tracked reputation with individual factions, which will all be shown in the FOB, along with objectives that allow you to unlock insured slots, the out-of-game wallet, yes, that's right, out-of-game wallet, and expanding DMZ elements like the contraband stash, key stash, and wallet. So let's talk about this out-of-game wallet. So we can now keep extracted cash from each match in a wallet, and we can then choose to re-infiltrate with a full pocket of cash, potentially making it easier to complete objectives that require hundreds of thousands of cash for completion, or so that your operator can go on a spending spree. On top of all that, there is also a new faction known as Phalanx that is coming, and a signal intelligence contract, and we'll learn a ton of specifics about that all on Friday, June 9th, so be sure to stay tuned to the channel for that. But with a new DMZ map comes a brand new boss. As we can see inside of the roadmap, this is a new vehicle boss, which is very interesting, definitely going to keep things fresh and new. And under the gameplay features on the roadmap, we see that there is a new tactical amphibious vehicle, so I assume that's something tied to that new vehicle on water, as well as this new boss, which is going to be only available on a vehicle, is going to be really interesting. And of course, there is a brand new weapon case with new rewards, and I'll be covering exactly how to get that as soon as the map drops, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But a massive new thing coming to DMZ as well is we are getting dynamic fog. Now, we've seen Infinity Ward start to experiment with different dynamic weather elements with the sandstorm, but dynamic fog is going to be a thing in DMZ. Now, this is only going to happen during certain inclement weather conditions, and we will typically see this happen at the very start of a DMZ infill. Now, we've seen fog rolling in since the days of Origin, so this is apparently a new technology for Call of Duty called dynamic fog. It's apparently a big deal to Call of Duty for this season. Let me know what you think about it down below. Overall, though, the map is looking absolutely absolutely beautiful. And I'm really happy to see that DMZ is just getting so much new content. Like, I just can't quite believe that there is now 5 maps in this mode. But just because we're getting a new map doesn't mean that other maps are not going to have some changes, because Al Mazrah now has some updates as the sandstorm has now subsided and it has left some damage to Al Mazrah City. It now has several sandbanks to climb up on, offering new and creative ways to approach some of the city's prominent buildings, and there will be a massive sand dune up the side of the TV tower, the embassy, and the high-rise building. Not only that, but the dunes have also piled up across some roadways, including covering parts of the highway system, and nearly flooded entire small structures in the main downtown area. But there's also partial destruction that will offer new approaches to maneuvering in, within, and out of the city. So there is a lot to look forward to. But if you also enjoy Modern Warfare 2, particularly with the multiplayer, this season is stacked with 6 new multiplayer maps at launch. Now, some of these already exist within Al Mazrah, but it's still nice to see them inside a multiplayer. That is Showdown, which is going to be a cool map on launch, a brand new map called Kunstinar District, which is one of the POIs within the new Vondel map, Mikado, which is going to be a gunfight map, Penthouse, which is going to be a gunfight map, and then the Marshlands from Al Mazrah is going to be its own big battle map, which has a little bit of a different skybox. It does look quite nice, as well as Akdar Village, which is going to be its own battle map. And then in the mid-season update, there's also going to be a new map called Vondel Waterfront. Something I was not expecting was the announcement of the raid coming in Season 4 Reloaded, but this is going to be the final raid episode for Special Ops. I was always under the impression that for the 5 seasons that Modern Warfare was going to have, it would have 5 raids, but this is going to be the finale of the raids in Modern Warfare 2, and I feel like they just started to get good, and they're going to have to do a lot of story wrapping in order for this to make sense, because it just feels a little bit rushed. I'd love to know what you guys think about this decision down below, because I feel like raids was this massive mode which they positioned before the game's launch to be this game-breaking, game-changing new mode, and these were genuinely really fun. They're bite-sized little co-op campaign missions of sorts, and I felt they really only just started to get good with the last one. And I don't know if these are going to be things we see in Modern Warfare 3 or even in Treyarch's next game. I think it's definitely a experimental mode that was trying to replicate the magic that Destiny has with their raids, but just sort of hasn't gotten there yet. There's also going to be 4 new weapons in Season 4, the first being the Tempest Razorback, which is an assault rifle, which looks really nice, especially when you see it in that background there for Vondel. There's also the ISO 45 SMG, which looks really good as well. And then also for launch is going to be a melee weapon called the Tonfa, which is a Japanese wooden baton. Now, tomorrow is Summer Games Fest, where there's going to be a ton of games shown off, but one of them is also going to be a brand new trailer for Season 4. So we'll have a chance to look at the brand new DMZ map, and on Friday we'll be discussing all of that footage, as well as going over everything that's been revealed for DMZ changing with Season 4. So don't miss out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, notifications on. I'll see you next time.